Good evening. We're going to be finishing out the 17th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew this evening. This will be the last time I'll be reading the scripture in 2024. It's going to be about 3 hours from now as I'm recording this, so it'll be 2025. So Happy New Year to everyone watching, and let's get into the scripture. This is when Jesus predicts his death for the second time. Let's begin in verse 22, chapter 17. One day after they had returned to Galilee, Jesus told them, "The Son of Man is going to be betrayed. He will be killed, but 3 days later he will be raised from the dead." And the disciples' hearts were filled with grief. Now, if you want to go back and see the very first time Jesus predicts his death, you just have to flip over to the very end of chapter 16. So that would have been maybe 3 videos ago. So if you want to catch that, go back and read that and go back and watch that video, and I'll read it while you watch. Now we're going to be getting into a separate topic here, but we're continuing on in verse 24. And this is where Peter finds the coin in the fish's mouth. Let's begin. On their arrival in Capernaum, the tax collectors for the temple tax came to Peter and asked him, "Doesn't your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Of course he does," Peter replied. Then he went into the house to talk to Jesus about it. But before he had a chance to speak, Jesus asked him, "What do you think, Peter? Do kings tax their own people or the foreigners they've conquered?" "They tax the foreigners," Peter replied. "Well then," Jesus said, "the citizens are free. However, we don't want to offend them, so go down to the lake and throw in a line. Open the mouth of the first fish that you catch, and you will find a coin. Take the coin and pay the tax for both of us." And that finishes out chapter 17 of the Gospel of Matthew. If you need any prayer requests for yourself, loved one, family member, or a friend, leave it in the comments below, and we'll get to work. Again, I hope that 2024 was kind to you. We're going to see that out this evening, and 2025 is going to be a great year. I just feel it in my bones. And the best way to see out a new year and see in a new one is with some scripture. So honestly, I just didn't have enough energy to do the scripture this evening. And I was about to say, well, I'll put it off and do it later, maybe tomorrow. Right as I was about to make that decision, a big crash of thunder just happened outside. So that was pretty interesting. Haven't heard it thunder in a while around here. So that was good Lord saying, you better get to it there. So anyway, this is the good Lord working through me to bring the scripture to you. Long story short. God bless you this evening, and I'll see you in 2025.